Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we are going to be doing the promised Curology review. I told you guys that I had been testing out Curology behind the scenes a while ago now. I wanted to make sure I gave it a fair amount of time before I actually uploaded this review, but now's the time. It's been quite a while since I've been using Curology. My opinion is fully formed on this brand slash service, and I am ready to let you know my thoughts. So I try to keep my intros brief because I get told I talk a lot, but I want this to be in the intro so as many people as possible actually hear me say this video is not sponsored. I know that that's in the title. In case you didn't see that and you're already feeling skeptical, this video is not sponsored. Curology actually did offer to sponsor this video, but I just said, you know what, for me personally, I think this video will be better received and I will feel more comfortable if it's not sponsored. So they did send me this product to test out for free, but I am not being paid to upload this video at all. Okay. Let's get into it. Okay, so I feel like really quickly I want to explain what Curology is for any of you guys that don't know, or just maybe as a good way to level set for those of you that feel like you know, but maybe don't fully know. So I'm literally just going to read what they say Curology is because I feel like that's the quickest and easiest way. So they say, Curology is a personalized skincare brand that pairs you with your own dermatology provider who analyzes your skin, creates a custom prescription formula shipped straight to you, and provides professional guidance on your skin needs. It's not just for acne, you can also use it for preventative anti-aging skincare. So things like fine lines, wrinkles, we know what anti-aging is for the most part. They have prescription grade ingredients and they are certified by Leaping Bunny, so they say they are completely cruelty-free and vegan. So that is a quick background on what Curology is in a nutshell, and I want to explain why I wanted to test out Curology. So for those of you that don't know, I'm acne prone. I have been my entire life, and when I was around 23, I started to get hormonal acne. So that acne that's in our chin jawline region, typically it is cystic, inflamed, swollen, very painful, and extremely stubborn and hard to get rid of. And I dealt with that for a few years before I really figured out how to keep it under control. And one of the ways that I was keeping it under control was with tretinoin. So tretinoin is a prescription grade retinoid. You need a prescription in order to get that from the dermatologist. So I had been seeing a dermatologist about my hormonal acne for a couple years and had a prescription from them for tretinoin. Enter this pandemic and face masks. I know I'm not the only one who started to break out more because of face mask usage. And for those of us that have hormonal acne, unfortunately, face masks are placed on the exact area that we are prone to breaking out. So not only do I get the chin jawline breakouts, I'm also prone just around my mouth and underneath my nose, just kind of this exact area that you wear a face mask, which is very unfortunate because wearing a face mask absolutely can cause you to break out, even if you were not acne prone prior. When you put a mask on that area, you are trapping in the heat, dirt, bacteria. It's just like the perfect breeding ground for a breakout. So I actually do have an updated video on my hormonal acne routine that I will link below. Everything that I use for hormonal acne, cleansers, moisturizers, I would recommend. I do reference Curology in that video because I was testing it out at the time, but said that I was going to do a separate review, which is this one. So that's linked below if you want more tips on products that you can use just for a solid hormonal acne regimen or just any kind of acne regimen that's not just for hormonal acne. I definitely would recommend watching that video after this. So because I was wearing face masks, I started to experience breakouts again, and prior to that, I pretty much had my breakouts under control with just the use of tretinoin and Axone, which is another prescription that I have from the dermatologist. I used Axone in the morning, tretinoin at night. That pretty much solved it for me until I started wearing face masks. So that is when I was ready to test out Curology. So because Curology is a personalized skincare brand, what you actually do in order to get your first prescription is take a skin quiz. So they ask you a variety of questions about your skincare concerns, your skincare type, any other medications or prescriptions you're currently using or have used in the past, if you liked those prescriptions, if you didn't, side effects you may have experienced in using those, everything. It's a very detailed quiz. And personally, as somebody who not only does a ton of skincare research, but has spent years just researching acne specifically because I wanted to clear up my skin, I was happy to see that they asked the variety and level of questions that they asked because I felt like my bases were covered for the most part in those questions. And then I also submitted photos of my face, and I will insert that photo here. Obviously, there's not very much going on, and I feel like something I've seen a lot online relating to Curology is how come everybody that talks about Curology already has beautiful skin to begin with? So I understand that that photo is not bad. I'm not saying that that's bad, but as somebody who's already using 2 separate prescriptions for acne, I personally feel like that should not still be happening, right? I feel like that's fair to say. So I'll insert a couple photos here of what my skin looked like before I even started tretinoin and Axone, just to give you guys an example. I don't even have photos of when my skin was at its absolute worst, because obviously when you're dealing with inflamed, broken out skin, the last thing you want to do is document that. And I wish that I had, but I just couldn't bring myself to, because I was so self-conscious. I hated the way that my skin looked. I hated the way that it made me feel. So I don't have any photos of that, but you guys can kind of see. Like, I always had at least 3 to 4 breakouts every single week, no matter what. So that was my skin before anything, and then you guys saw what my skin looked like with tretinoin and Axone, and I submitted that to Curology. So that's all I needed to do, and then I was shipped my custom prescription in the mail. So I apologize that the names of those ingredients and the percentages are kind of rubbed off. On Curology's website, there's a little portal, if you will, that shows you what your treatment plan is and the exact ingredients and percentages that were used in your custom prescription. So I will show you guys right here a screenshot from my portal, I don't really know what to call that, of each of the ingredients that were included in my very first prescription, which has changed over time. We'll get into that. So the first thing that you see here is tretinoin. They say that it's one of the most effective ingredients for fighting acne, dark spots, and blackheads. Absolutely true. Aside from that, it's like the best thing ever for anti-aging, which is amazing. You guys know, if you keep up with my channel, that tretinoin is basically my be-all end-all. It's completely transformed my skin. I love tretinoin. So that is true, and the concentration that I was prescribed is 0.12%. That is a very high strength concentration of tretinoin. And again, the concentration that I was previously using was 0.025%, which on its own was not enough for me, so that's why it was increased. If you have never used tretinoin before, I would not expect to be prescribed this high of a strength of tretinoin, because one of the side effects of using any retinoid, retinol, adapalene, tretinoin, retinaldehyde, is irritation, dry skin, flaking, burning, stinging, redness, just telltale signs of irritation. That is very common when you first introduce retinoids into your skincare routine, and even with continued use. So don't use the percentages of each ingredient as a reference to compare to, because of course everybody's skin is different, but it also really depends on what you previously were using, if anything. And if you were not already using tretinoin and you're getting it prescribed through Curology or any dermatologist, that is a very high strength concentration of tretinoin. So I just wanted to say that, because I feel like I get questions a lot asking what concentration of tretinoin I use or what I would recommend, and I can't recommend that because I'm not a dermatologist, and it's completely dependent on your skin type, how your skin tolerates that ingredient, and what your provider recommends. So I cannot give a recommendation on concentration of tretinoin. I feel like I should say that. The second ingredient is clindamycin. So this is something that I was not using before that was added to my prescription based off of everything that I had explained to the provider. Clindamycin is an antibacterial that fights inflammation and acne-causing bacteria. So clindamycin is specifically used in this case to kill the acne bacteria that lives on the skin. And I did a lot of research on that specific ingredient because I had never used a topical antibiotic like that before. And clindamycin is something that you're supposed to use temporarily, and it does take a while to work. I was reading it can take, 3-4 months to work, which sometimes is just the case for any new skincare that you introduce, especially when you're trying to treat acne. It can take a while for you to see positive results, and sometimes it actually gets worse before it gets better. Clindamycin is one of those ingredients where it takes a while to see results, but once you do, it's not something you're supposed to be on permanently. It's something that you're on temporarily. So I was prescribed 1% clindamycin. The last ingredient is azelaic acid, which they say unclogs pores, improves texture, and lightens dark spots. Absolutely true. Similar kinds of benefits to tretinoin and other retinoids. It's just not the same exact kind of ingredient. So 5% azelaic acid was included to this formulation. I will show you guys here. I'm just going to do a little bit because I don't want to waste it, what the consistency of this is. So it's just a really lightweight cream, and retinoids are best used in the PM. So what I personally do is cleanse my skin, apply my serums, then apply my prescription, which has that retinoid in there, and then go ahead and use a moisturizer. However, I want to say that exact routine, I always got hair in my lip gloss. That exact routine, that order of operations for that PM skincare routine is not necessarily for everybody. If you have very dry skin, if your skin doesn't respond to retinoids in the best way and you get some flakiness, what you can do is apply that retinoid on top of moisturizer. That moisturizer is going to kind of act like a protective barrier between, I mean, obviously there's more to it than that, but between your skin and that retinoid to help to minimize some of that irritation that you might be experiencing. So you do not have to apply your retinoid to bare skin or right after your serum. You can apply it on top of moisturizer. Totally depends on, again, what your skin tolerates, which is kind of the theme here. So I started to use that every single night because I was previously using my tretinoin every single night, and I started off applying it just to bare skin actually because that's what I was doing with my tretinoin, and then my skin started to get very upset. I will insert some photos here of the initial irritation that I experienced in using this product. And in doing this, I want to say this is not me complaining about Curology or saying that Curology is going to destroy your skin or Curology is bad for your skin and causes irritation. No. So that's one of the things that I feel like is a misconception about Curology that I also want to level set. And that's that you can kind of say, oh, Curology did this to my skin. It's the whole brand to blame. This is the same type of thing as going to the dermatologist, getting a prescription, and having it maybe not work the best for your skin. That happens when you're starting a new medication. You don't know for sure how your skin's going to respond to those ingredients. The only way to know is to work with your provider and test it out. And if it doesn't work for your skin, then you adapt, which is what I ended up doing because clearly this was just too strong for my skin. And I was very, very adamant when I was filling out that questionnaire in that little box where I left my comments, which was like a short story, that I wanted something stronger and more effective. And that's exactly what I was delivered. So I am not at all complaining about that. I think this combination is a really great one for effectively helping to treat and prevent breakouts. This is a great combination of ingredients. I've researched all of those ingredients in depth before. I was really happy that that's what I was prescribed. I have sensitive skin though, and clearly this just was too much for my skin. So I was experiencing a lot of irritation. My face hurt so bad. Oh my goodness. So I used that for a while, and this is actually the second bottle of this prescription that I have because the first bottle that I was shipped is a smaller version of this, and I actually like that they do that because it gives you kind of a month to test out and see how your skin responds to that. So at the time I was kind of thinking, oh, it's just because of the face masks, because my irritation for the most part was in the same spot as the face mask. But what I honestly think it was the face masks combined with this new prescription, and this just probably being too strong for my skin anyway, even if I wasn't wearing a mask. But when you put it all together, my skin just did not respond very well to that. During my time of using this specific prescription and this specific formula, you guys probably saw in here, it says it was filled on June 20th, but I actually first, let me pull this up for receipts. I was prescribed my first bottle, the smaller one, a month prior. So I've been using Curology since middle to end of May. So it's been a while. After I had used it for probably a month and a half and realized it was not going to work for me and I needed something not quite as strong, but still stronger than my previous prescription, I uploaded more pictures of what I just showed you guys, the irritation I was experiencing, kind of explained some of the things that I was seeing, and that was that. So you absolutely are able to adjust this prescription over time if it doesn't work for you. Same thing on the opposite end of the spectrum. If you feel like you're not seeing your skin improve enough, then you could get a stronger version of that formulation instead of weaker, which is the route that I needed to go. Enter my second Curology prescription. So this has a different combination of ingredients. It still has tretinoin, but it no longer has clindamycin. I actually asked if that could be removed. That's something, again, like I said, that you don't need to be on permanently, but I just personally did not want to be on that for a long period of time. That's just completely my personal choice and opinion. I'm not saying that's what you need to do. You guys need to do what's best for your skin. It's nobody's business. It's not my business. I'm not affected by it, but I just said, can we remove the clindamycin? Because I was kind of feeling like that was a big contributing factor to the irritation that I was experiencing since I had never been on clindamycin before. And then of course, adding tretinoin at a higher concentration and azelaic acid, which exfoliates the skin further, is not going to help the situation. So I still have this obviously with the clindamycin, but My new formulation has 4% niacinamide, 0.07% tretinoin, so still a step up from that 0.025% that I originally had, but a step down from the first prescription that I got from Curology, and 5% tranexamic acid. You guys know I was probably very excited to see that niacinamide was added to this. So niacinamide is something I talk about over and over and over on my channel. I call it the unicorn of skincare. I feel like I need some sort of shirt relating to unicorns and niacinamide. I don't really know exactly what, but that's because it has so many different benefits, not only for people that are acne prone, but just also those that are looking to improve their skin overall. It helps to regulate sebum production if you have oily acne prone skin, improve the appearance of pores if you have enlarged pores. It helps to soothe the skin, calm redness, improve texture, brighten, there's so many benefits. So surprisingly though, yes, I was excited. I also was a little bit nervous because I already have other serums that I use on a consistent basis that have niacinamide in them, and I know that some people are irritated by that ingredient or their skin becomes aggravated by using too much niacinamide. So I was a little bit nervous that that may happen to me. So far, I haven't experienced that, which is good. Tretinoin, not much else to say there. Same exact thing, just a lower concentration. And then the tranexamic acid is an ingredient that I actually hadn't done. If you're new here, we drop something in every video, in case you're wondering. Tranexamic acid is an ingredient that I hadn't done a ton of research on prior to getting this because it wasn't something that I was using, but tranexamic acid is actually a really nice ingredient at helping to fade dark spots, and it also has soothing properties. So it's something that may help to reduce redness as well as soothe the skin, which is one of the reasons it was included in this prescription for me, because I clearly needed some of that skin soothing and redness reduction. So I feel like this was a perfect step down for me. It still has really effective ingredients, things that are going to help me with acne, but just not nearly as potent as this. So what my provider recommended was to continue using this until it was gone in combination with this if I felt like my skin could tolerate it. So just keep this and maybe use it once a week, a couple times a week, whatever I personally feel works best for me. And then when it's gone, this will just be my new prescription unless I feel like it needs to be adjusted again. And then in that case, I can adjust that when it happens. So I'll show you guys what this one looks like. It's the exact same thing. Another lightweight cream, another one that I am using just at night. And I am actually now using this on top of moisturizer to help to heal my skin. Because unfortunately, in using this for a couple months and continuing to wear face masks on a consistent basis, I feel like my skin just does not have the ability or the chance to properly heal. So I do still have remaining skin irritation here. I can show you guys a couple photos kind of what it was looking like after I had healed that initial irritation. There's just been this patch right here and at the base of my chin that has been so stubborn and so difficult to heal. So I've actually been trying to use this very minimally over the past couple weeks and just focus it on my forehead. Even though I am acne prone on this region of my face, I clearly have a lot of irritation going on. And when you have active irritation like this, the best thing you can do is just take a break from those active ingredients that can cause that irritation or make it worse, so that your skin can properly heal. So that's what I've been trying to do, is just take a break from all of these altogether. Again, that's not because Curology ruined my skin. It's just when you're combining prescription strength retinoids with face masks and sensitive skin, you're gonna have a recipe for disaster. So I know that that was a really long description, but I feel like it's important for me, especially in this video, to be as detailed as possible. Again, kind of because of all of the comments that I've been seeing about this brand, just to explain exactly the process that I went through. So obviously, acne was the main reason that I wanted to test out Curology, and I will say within the first month and a half-ish, I saw an improvement, but I still got a couple breakouts, so I'll show you guys here. I mean, again, like I said, very, very minimal compared to what I was experiencing before. Please don't think I'm trying to say I have severe hormonal acne, but I still was getting a couple breakouts around my cycle, but notice that what was that noise? But notice that that was starting to improve and starting to diminish after I had started using this first prescription. I feel like it took me probably a solid 3 months to completely get it under control, and I have not, right? Am I counting that right? Yeah, about 3 months. And I have not had a breakout in that region of my face in, I need to knock on wood, not gonna jinx myself, in 2 months. And I know that because I have gone through 2 cycles, sorry if that's TMI, but like it is what it is, without getting a breakout. And that's when I was getting breakouts prior. So it worked for me. I had a really positive experience in using it, but this is not me saying Curology as a brand works. It's me saying the process behind Curology works and the ingredients that I was prescribed worked for me. This is not going to be the experience that everyone has, and I actually, to be honest, I get kind of frustrated, and this is one of the reasons I didn't want this video to be sponsored, because I didn't want people to think I was just saying this because I was getting paid. But it's totally unfair to say, oh, Curology made my skin worse, Curology made me break out more, because the brand's not doing that. That just means that you are prescribed ingredients that don't work well with your skin, and that your skin didn't respond well to the ingredients that you were prescribed. That same exact thing can happen when you go to the dermatologist. It's literally the same thing. If you're prescribed something, which neither Curology or a separate dermatologist would know how your skin will respond for sure. Nobody can know that. If your skin doesn't respond well to ingredients that you're prescribed, they definitely can make you break out or make you get irritation like I experienced. And when that happens, you just have to adjust and continue to work on it until you find something that works well for you. So this is the same process I went through when I was in high school and I started to experience your like puberty T-zone breakouts. I tested out so many different acne prescriptions with a dermatologist because so many things were not working for me. There were things that were making it worse. And it took a really long time to find a couple of products and a regimen, if you will, that really worked for me and helped to keep my skin clear. So I apologize. I'm not trying to come off as aggressive at all or like I know everything, because I absolutely don't. That's not what I'm trying to say. But I just personally feel it's a little bit unfair to say Curology ruined my skin, because that's the same thing as saying my dermatologist ruined my skin. You know, like it's not the process, it's just that the ingredients probably didn't work for you. Obviously, I can't speak to everybody's experience. If you had an experience with Curology that was really negative, let me know in the comments below. I'm curious, but that's just kind of my 2 cents on that. I feel like it's a bit unfair to have that kind of messaging out there. And that is everything that I wanted to talk through today about Curology. So I hope that you guys appreciated my honest, unsponsored point of view. Again, just remember, this is just one person's point of view, one person's experience, and I'm not here to speak for everybody else's experience, but just give you some perspective. So I am so curious to hear what you guys have to say about this brand and what your thoughts are. So sound off in the comments below. Have you tried Curology? Did you have a positive or negative experience? Have you been skeptical about this brand? Are you interested in trying it after watching this video? Again, I'm not benefiting by you guys trying it or not trying it at all, so it doesn't matter to me. I just am very curious to hear what you guys have to say. If you did enjoy this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and click on that notification bell. Not only does that help to support me, but that helps to make sure that you don't miss out on my next video, because I upload 3 to 5 days a week with content just like this. Also, if you did enjoy this, please share it with a friend. If you have a fellow skincare, hair care, beauty lover in your life, please share my channel with them. That would mean the world to me. If every single person just shared with one friend, we would have double the family here, which makes me really excited to think about. So other than that, that is it for this video. If there's anything else that you guys would like to see from me next, leave that request in the comments below. Otherwise, my next video will be up in a few days. So until then, I hope you have a great few days.